Hey guys, welcome to episode 51 of my Warhammer 40k Conquest review series. This episode we'll be reviewing issue 51. Weirdly, they've once again changed the plastic cover that it comes in. This one's crinkly and has like spider webbing all across the outside, which is weird, but not really important. The pack's still protected as usual. Let's see if we can, oh blimey, open this. Okay. First thing we've got is this, which is a hemotrope reactor. They usually come in packs of 2, so this is just one. The 2-pack you can buy off the website is worth $27.50. So this is $13.75 worth. So you're saving nearly £6. That's not bad. You're saving nearly £6. I'm sure because they come in packs of 2, they'll send a second one at some point during the series, which will mean you'll be saving about £12 on the scenery. It's a fantastic big piece of scenery. I'm just going to grab a random model. I happen to have it in front of me. Warcry stuff that I bought. But if I grab one of the bigger guys, there you go. This guy is a little bit shorter, so about as tall as a Marine with all his gump. So you can see size-wise, that's going to be a great line of sight blocker. You can hide several models behind one of them. With the other stuff you've got, you can actually provide cover to several units, so that's pretty cool. Or the other several units, to a whole unit rather. So that's pretty cool. As you can see, as always, the detail on it is amazing. It's good, solid plastic, nice and thick. It's a multi-part kit, but it still comes with the cool piping, so it will attach, and yeah, bits there, which again they're sort of universally the circular sizes rather are universally sized, so that your thermic plasma pipes will go off of it, so you can create all kinds of sort of modular industrial looking scenery. We've got a massive tech priest's symbol, so yeah, god damn it, I want to say tech priest, but I don't. And then my brain's, you know, Skitari, blah 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 blah. No, it's no good. My brain cannot remember the religion of the Martian tech priests. Mechanicum, there you go. Got a fantastic Mechanicum symbol on it there, so that's pretty good. Yeah, really great little setup there. Lots of detail. Yeah, some nice little bits there. You've got the pipes that are going to come off it. Looks like it should be a fairly straightforward and easy one to build. And it's going to look really nice and probably be fairly easy to paint because it's got such deep details. Here we can see a suggested paint scheme they've got there. Bear me a second, I've just got a technical issue. Sorry about that, guys. Power was running low on my phone. Plug wasn't plugged in properly. Yep, got some fantastic artwork on the cover as always. Here you can see they spent quite a lot of time painting it, so it looks amazing. It is actually fairly easy to paint these in a much more simple way, and still get a good look off of them, where you only have to add a few details and you don't have to worry about that, which is quite a project, to be honest. And whilst a lot of us are quite happy to spend hours on our figures, and sometimes spending hours on the scenery is not necessarily what we want to do. That doesn't mean you can't paint scenery, give it a coat of matte varnish, and then go back and add things later. Matte varnish takes paint quite nicely, actually. As always, Ian, our spiritual liege. And what they advertised last week which I'm really been looking forward to, Salamanders. Salamanders are one of my favourite chapters, simply because they're very nice people. Got a bit of confusing armour here. It hasn't got the rims you expect from the knees, but it does have a face similar to the Primaris. It could be the Maximus armour, it could be an old set of armour, or it could just be a combination of different armour sets. A lot of Marines use that, different armour. Yeah, obviously that face mask there resembles a Primaris, but you're missing a few key details that you usually see on the Primaris. Doesn't matter either way, still really cool. The Salamanders are one of the nicer Marine chapters, for lack of a better word. They actually give a crap about humanity. They care about human beings and what happens to them. If you've ever read the Salamander book, it's pretty cool. They actually introduced another one of my favourite chapters, the Marines Malevolent, who are one of my favourite chapters because they're complete assholes. They're the absolute opposite. They don't give a crap about humans and will quite happily see them die. Sorry guys, a bit twitchy today. If you've not read the Salamander Omnibus, it's a great book to get hold of. The Salamander novels are very well written and very nice. And as I say, they portray one of the better characters. Sorry, something in my eye there. One of the better Marine chapters. There are a few Marine chapters that like humans. There are some that will respect humans. The Salamanders like humans. The Crimson Fists will respect humans. The Ultramarines will respect humans. The Space Wolves like humans and consider themselves humanity's protectors, and will particularly respect warriors who've been honourable and done their thing, even if they're lower warriors. Yeah, even if they're like less effective warriors, you know, because they're human. And some chapters, as I said, the Marines Malevolent are one, and some of the other well-known chapters don't really take humans into consideration. They kind of consider themselves different and above. So you've got a lot of different chapters thinking that way. It goes through a lot of stuff like their homeworld is Nocturne. The Primarch is Vulcan. They are one of the original chapters. Goes through some main engagements: the Badab War, the Defense of Nocturne, the Promethean War. They're specialists in fire. They live on a volcanic world. There's like one place that doesn't get destroyed, and that's where their fortress monastery is. But most of the time they go around in big clans collecting and training their acolytes when they're on the world, and then they fly off and blow things up when they're off the world. So they're fairly cool and fairly clannish. They're one of the first founding chapters established by the Emperor, later led by their Primarch Vulcan. Their chapter planet Nocturne is a harsh world of soaring mountains and lava flows. This environment has hardened the citizens of Nocturne, making them excellent recruits for Salamanders. Sorry guys. Basically, it's another death world. Like many Marines, they like to recruit from very harsh worlds because it means that the people that can survive that can possibly survive what they have a better chance of surviving what they've got in store to become Marines. Rather than being organised into 10 companies, the Codex Astartes decrees the Salamanders retain their pre-heresy organisation and are split into 7 warrior houses. The warriors in each house are recruited predominantly from one of the 7 great settlements of Nocturne. So there's a few great settlements and nomadic places that tend to stay. But like I say, most of it, if you read the book, they tend to travel in big caravans because the majority of Nocturne is volcanoes. It's got company designs there. Each company is indicated by colour variations of the chapter symbol. The first and second companies use the unmodified chapter symbol as their markings, and the others use different colours. Salamanders do not use marking for squad roles, but the squad number is inside the flame icon on the right shoulder pad. So you can see there what you've got going and how it looks. It's also worth noting, it doesn't mention it here specifically, Salamanders have red eyes and near black skin. They look like demons. It is a particular mutation that comes down from the Primarch. Primarch? Yeah. I would say. Which sounds like a shot now. It comes down from their Primarch, and it's an adaptation, that lets them survive Vulcan better. So they're all like ebony skin with glowing red eyes. So they look really scary. And they have not got a salamander unmasked here, but that's one of the bits of the salamander lore. But that's cool. Next, we're going with the Dark Imperium. I'm not going to go into too much detail because this is story stuff, but it covers the standard at Armageddon, the devastation of Baal, and all the various bits and pieces that were part of Dark Heresy. Terror Retaliates, the Plague of Plagues, No Safe Passage, and Only War. So that's a nice bit of background as to where the 40k universe stands currently. The Heretic Astartes, we've got another list here of heretics. It's worth noting that heretics aren't necessarily chaos bound. Some Space Marine chapters worship chaos as a whole. Others don't really worship chaos at all, or they worship chaos as individuals rather than a legion. Some just fight for themselves. Some are full-on Chaos Marines. But to be declared heretic usually just means you no longer follow the Imperium. Heretic Stars, also known as Chaos Space Marines, are the most fearsome foes. They have Space Marines abilities along with the gear of war. But since turning to darker powers, many also bear powerful mutations or gift from their Chaos Gods, making them mightier still. It's going through the various things here. These are the original heretic legions. There are more. Some of these legions have split up into smaller chapters. Each chapter following a powerful champion. In other cases, there are, like the Red Corsairs. There are newer chapters that have turned to chaos much later, who are part of the Imperium, and founded by loyalist Marine chapters. You've got the Black Legion, the Alpha Legion, Thousand Sons, Iron Warriors, Death Guard, Word Bearers, World Eaters, Night Lords, and Emperor's Children. Sorry, guys. Many of these, Black Legion of Chaos Undivided, although individual champions may follow individual gods. The Alpha Legion don't really follow Chaos specifically. They split off because they thought it was best for humanity and best for the universe, because an alien said so and they believed him. The Thousand Sons are Zench, followers of Zench. The Iron Warriors, again, Chaos Undivided, but a bit corny. Death Guard are followers of Nurgle. The Word Bearers are Chaos Undivided, although, individual champions sometimes dedicate themselves to specific gods or specific patrons. Worth noting, the Word Bearers are the ones that originally turned to Chaos, and they are the first Marines to turn to Chaos, and they corrupted the other Marines. The World Eaters are Cornate. The Night Lords, again, Chaos Undivided, but they're more about they're more like criminal gangs, so they'll make a deal with whoever they need to. And finally, the Emperor's Children, who are Slaanesh. So you've got Slaanesh, Emperor's Children Slaanesh, World Eaters Khorne, Death Guard Nurgle, Thousand Sons Zinch. Everyone else is as they see fit or as they please at any given time. The head legion is the Black Legion. They used to be the Sons of Horus. Then before that they were the Lunar Wolves. They're led by Abaddon, the Despoiler, who was Horus's second in command and captain of the first company. But before that, they were Horus's own legion. And they're currently, I don't necessarily say the leaders of the Chaos of Violence, but certainly Abaddon is the guy bringing it all together with his 13 not really failed crusades. Each crusade apparently did something to forward the objectives. Each crusade failed, but hidden in that failure was a victory necessary for the next step in Abaddon's Abaddon's plan. And being as Abaddon's been around for 10,000 years, yeah, you could see that would be quite a complex plan. Here we go. What else have we got? Not all creatures of chaos are its direct offspring. Once proud marine warriors armored with faith. The Chaos Space Marines are now bitter and corrupt champions of the Dark Gods. They are hateful beings who war to satisfy their own needs and desires. Yeah. Basically, they're arseholes and traitors. It goes on discuss. I'm not going to read it all because they'll spoil it. It goes on to discuss the actions in the heresy, in the Horus heresy, and what happened there. And then we're going straight on here to the Black Legion and the Renegades. Black Legion, as I said, they're kind of the key players in the current 40k universe in terms of Chaos Marines, but each set of Marines are doing their own things. The Death Guard have got a lot of stuff there doing. Zench basically blew the crap out of the Space Wolf's homeworld and various other things. It then moves on to Renegades. Renegades, as I said, these are the guys that aren't necessarily Chaos, but certainly are traitors to the Empire. Let's quickly read about that. During the Great Crusade, Horus's legion was called the Lunar Wolves. The Emperor renamed them the Sons of Horus to honour the accomplishments of the Primarch. When Horus turns traitor, his sons rebelled with him, fighting as Horus' bodyguard during the heresy. After Horus's death, they retrieved his body and fled to the Eye of Terror. There the traitor legions fell to fighting amongst themselves. And there's some more bits and pieces after that. The galaxy shall burn, quote from Abaddon there. Then we've got Renegades. Although it's rare for Adeptus Astartes to turn from the light of the Emperor, over a span of thousands of years, countless Space Marines have done so. Sometimes they have turned from the light individually, sometimes in squads or companies, and thankfully in rare cases, even as entire chapters. Freed from their need to serve their chapter or Imperium, these Renegades instead turn their attention to gathering riches and power, or merely to causing destruction for destruction's sake. Most Renegades eventually turn to the Chaos Gods, either willingly in pursuit of power or due to desperate need. Yeah, they're a constant threat to the galaxy, emerging from the war almost at random to deal death. So, again, there you've got the fact that they're not all Chaos, but most of them eventually fall to Chaos, being as there's really, when it comes to Space Marines, there's really two factions they can join, the good guys or the bad guys. You can pick one, but staying in the middle is often the most dangerous. Which is the case, for example, with the Dark Angel Fallen. Many of them don't want to go to Chaos. Many of them don't consider themselves traitors and have no desire to worship Chaos. Some do, but that's one of the reasons the Dark Angels Fallen tend to eventually get hunted down. Most of the ones that don't turn to Chaos are the ones that try and still be Dark Angels in some way, shape, or form, leading a planet as a super warrior, leading an army, or some such thing like that. Again, the Alpha Legion, some have turned to Chaos, some haven't. The Legion as a whole, who knows what the hell it's doing? It's deliberately trickstery. We've got some awesome pictures here, just basically showcasing the non-Death Guard Astartes you can get. All of these guys are Black Legion, but most of the stuff can be converted to any particular power, and any particular Legion, or even chapter, or even just warband of Renegades. You don't even need to have a whole, with the in the same way that Space Marines get separated into battle companies or strike forces. The Chaos Legions can be separated into chapters, into into companies in that chapter, or even just a band of rebel Space Marines around a particularly charismatic Space Marine leader, like a war band even. And you've got Abaddon the Despoiler there, who's cool, and as you can see, he's big, but not quite as big as Gilliman. You got Black Legion Possessed there. Those are guys that give themselves over to demons. Not if you've read the Heresy books, you know that the World Eaters have guys, the Galvaback, who have given themselves over. With the Galvabacks, it's kind of a 50-50 split. With these guys, it's meant to be. They kind of think that it's going to be, but it isn't. The demons completely take over and just ride them into battle. You've got Black Legion Terminators. The elites of the Black Legion are still around fighting. You've got an Obliterator, which is... you can get Obliterators of specific Chaos Gods, but they mostly come from the Warpsmith Forges, and they can sort of warp their own bodies to create whatever weapons they need. You've got Black Legion Raptor there, who's equivalent of jump troops. A Black Legion Chaos Space Marine, who's just, again, your troop of the line. And Black Legion Havocs, which are their equivalents of heavy weapons and heavy weapons squads, although they're organised differently and have access to different weapons. Here we've got some beautiful pictures there. You've got Night Lords, who mostly come out of nowhere and kill everything. Iron Warriors, who mostly build giant fortifications and kill everything. And Word Bearers, who mostly get preachy and kill everything. So you can see the kill everything theme, but each one of these is one of the original chapters created by the Emperor, or legions created by the Emperor, but there are a lot more. Here we've got the instructions on how to build the Hemotrope Reactor. Again, clip of safety, don't want to lose an arm. Fairly solid. You know, we can see from the instructions it's going to be a fairly solid piece of scenery. It's going to last you quite a while. Their recommendation is cover it in lead belcher and non-oil, which is a very easy and simple way to paint it. And will give you a lot of stuff. And then they're picking out the details with Retributor armor there, which is a very serviceable gold. You can either have it as a shining gold, or you can really, you know, wash it down to be a brass colour. So yeah, lots of details, lots of picking out. As I say, it's quite a large project, but the way they're doing it here is going to be a lot simpler and a lot easier to do. So yeah, there, as you see, nice, simple, easy. Really not going to take you too much time to do it. Not as cool as that, but you know, you don't necessarily want to spend too much time on scenery, particularly if, like me, you've got a ton of blue plastic to paint. We've got a nice, sorry, I'm umming a lot today, sorry. We've got a nice mission, really meaty and chunky, where we're going to use this thing. You're going to use the Mechanicus Zone here, Hemotrope Reactor. What rules have we got? When a model targets an enemy unit that has all of its models within 3 inches of the Hemotrope Reactor, the target unit receives the benefit of cover if at least 25% of every model is obscured by it from the point of view of a shooting model. The Hemotrope Reactor also functions as hazardous cover. Roll a d6. Each time you make a saving throw of 7+ or a roll of 6 +1 for being in cover for a model within 3 of any terrain features with this ability in the shooting phase. On a 1, the model unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So that's a nice covering thing. Below examples of the Hemotrope Reactor's rules in play. Obscured models only receive cover from the Hemotrope Reactor if they're at least 25%. If at least 25% of every model is obscured. Yeah, the Plague Marine in the unit is obscured, so it's 25%. Each model has to have at least 25% of it to receive cover. If any model is out of cover, then the model does not receive cover. And so you can see that model has 25% of it covered, so it receives cover. So you roll it, and if you roll a 6, it gets put up to 1. So if you roll a 6, you make a 7 because you've got a +1 because of the cover, and you receive a mortal wound. So basically, you got a better chance of getting hurt because the Hemotrope Reactor is a bad thing. Yeah, you have to be hit, you have to be wounded. Instead of needing to roll a 3+, they require a 2+ because you get +1 for the cover. But if you roll a 6, you roll a 6 as they're receiving a couple of the Hematron reactor. This result in their saving being modified to a 7. The Plague Marine unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So you need to roll lower, but if you roll too high, so yeah, it's a bit weird. It gives you cover, but at the same time, it doesn't give you cover. So, it's kind of, it's +1, but at the same time, if you roll a 6, then you take a mortal wound, which you can't do anything about. Power Surge, there you go. So that's the explanation of the rules. That's the explanation, sorry. That's the explanation of the rules. So that's there, check that out, that's nifty. I do like weird things like that because they kind of change how the game works and how you play the game and make you make tactical decisions. We've got a nice story bit here leading up to the mission, which we've got here. Fuel for the Forge. Death Guard Assault aims to capture and overload the Hemotrope reactor. To do so, they must eliminate the Space Marines and take control of the objective. The attackers caught the Ultramarines off guard. They must hold the objective and hope reinforcements arrive in time to win the day. So you've got Death Guard employment in one corner and then the Space Marines around the Hemotrope. So, yeah, they're going to have to use the Hemotrope reactor as cover and hope to fudge that they live. So that's pretty cool as well. So, nice mission there. Armies, you're looking at Lord Felthius, the Tainted Cohort, Chaos Rhino, 5 Plague Marine Walkers and 12 Pox Walkers. Sorry, 5 Plague Marines and 12 Pox Walkers. So about 20 guys in total. Captain in Gravis Armour, 5 Intercessors, 3 Aggressors, 3 Hellblasters and 2 Inceptors. So that's pretty cool as well. Sorry, Twitchy has fudged today. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 versus 20. They're using the Poxwalkers. I'm surprised. I thought they'd use the Cultists for this mission as you just got them. Oh well. I'm just going to go back and... Yeah, it states here that the Hemotrope reactor is used to power things, but it doesn't say what it uses. It's called Hemotrope, so I assume there's some sort of a blood-based component, but it doesn't give me a thing, because it's spelled hema as in hemophiliac, as in hemorrhage, as in hemoglobin. So I always wondered if there was some sort of blood thing there. I haven't got a specific explanation, but anyway, it's a power reactor. One assumes that it powers things by bleeding humans dry or something. That's rubbish. It's fairly common for the Mechanicus to do things like that. When they convert mechanics, when they put in new things, the spare blood, the spare flesh often gets used in the same way as I'll try that again. Often gets used in the same way as mechanical parts get used. If a Skitari loses an arm, that arm will be attached to a machine, which will then use that arm to manufacture things and things like that. They very much believe in waste, not want not. Right, next week we've got Astro Granite. It also says Death Guard Lords, painting bases, new stratagems for your games, which will be cool. It doesn't say you're getting anything else. I can only assume then you must be, because Astro Granite is $4.75 and every one of these issues so far has been worth more money. But we'll have to see what happens in that. Maybe we're going to get another battlefield. Maybe there'll be another paintbrush. If we're lucky, there's a tool for spreading Astro Granite there. Maybe we'll get that. That'd be really cool if we get that, but it doesn't say anywhere on here. So we'll just have to see next week. And then after that, we're getting a Plague Marine Biker. A Plague Marine Biker, a Space Marine Biker. A single Space Marine Biker. Again, it was about $22.50 each, so you were getting £12 out of 2. You're now getting about, Again, the next 2 issues don't look like they're going to be particularly value for money. In 2 it's getting a Space Marine Biker, but we will see what else we get with them. With every issue so far, when it's been down on product, it's thrown extra stuff in, and it still does mean that overall... Oh, so I've knocked the phone, sorry. It does mean that overall we're still making quite a bit of money, or saving quite a bit of money. Ooh, knocking the cable. From all the bits we're getting. Even if these ones are just providing that, they're still fairly worth it. £8 is about what you used to pay for the individual packs of bikers, so it's not totally unreasonable. You used to be able to get single bikers in a little box, just like a penny product, and we just get single Marines. But yeah, it'd still be worth getting, and there'll probably be other bits and pieces thrown in there. Usually, there have been every time so far, but I haven't seen it yet. Okay, I'm just going to pause for a second while I roll for the results of last week's competition to win these cultists. Sorry guys, I'm tired. Hey guys, I've rolled the dice and I've got a 2. Sorry, we've written it down. So 1 is Chris, 2 is Sydney Turner. Oh, hey. So, Sid, you just won some Chaos Cultists. So, I'll PM you in the contents, and then you or can I'll PM you in the contents, send you my email, give you my email address, and then you can tell me where you want these posted. I'm really not with it tonight, guys. Sorry about that. Okie dokie. I will see you guys this weekend when I'll be doing my weekend roundup. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there, and please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.